Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Megan. Today, I want to talk about my journey with PMDD and kind of how my life has completely changed over the last 7 months, literally going from the worst of the worst to absolutely no symptoms. And I think it's really incredible and I want to share it with the world. So I'm excited that you're here. I'm going to give you a little bit of a background just so you know where I was coming from and how I started to see all of these changes happen to completely get rid of PMDD. First of all, what is PMDD? It's not PMS. It's something way, way worse, my friend. So, when I was a kid, when I was, high school, junior high age, the week before my period, I might break out a little bit. I might be a little more weepy. I might just, and I want to eat a lot of chocolate. And then the period starts and you're on and you're fine and the world is great. Then when I turned 19, I specifically remember the day that my life changed. I woke up and it was like, I knew that I was different and I was struggling with these intense feelings. I never correlated it to my cycle. I thought I was having anxiety attacks, panic attacks, which I was, but I never realized how some of that really went along with my cycle. And then over the next 20 years, it's just lots of highs and lows. So let's talk about PMDD real quick. It is extreme sadness, hopelessness, irritability, anger. This is coming, it can be a week to 2 weeks before your cycle. And let me tell you what, I was experiencing it from the day I ovulated all the way until sometimes a few days into my cycle. So I was having very, very few good days and I was having a lot of struggle bus days. And some of those days were very, very difficult, and we'll talk about that more. But breast tenderness and bloating, feeling on edge, overwhelmed, tense, anxiety and panic attacks, depression and suicidal thoughts, difficulty concentrating, fatigue and low energy, food cravings, binge eating, or changes in appetite, headaches, insomnia. And some of the ways that you can take care of that, it's like, just be nice to yourself and just try to rest and blah, blah, blah. No, listen, when this became so overwhelmingly debilitating, I was at the end of my end and I felt like there was no hope and that it was never going to get better. I have very short cycles. So literally just a few days after my cycle ends, it could be a day or two, I ovulate and then I start the whole process over again. And to feel terrible all that time and to want to be unalive at times and to be struggling with extreme fatigue and just difficulty doing day-to-day life. I knew that things were really bad in this year of 2024 it was like around March or April when it just became, almost felt like I just couldn't function as a human being. And I pretty much could get my work done and then I was just done for. And I knew that that was no way to live. So what I did first is I went to the doctor. It had nothing to do with PMDD. I went fully and 100% because I was experiencing extreme fatigue and I just knew I cannot continue functioning with this kind of fatigue. I would do a video on my grocery related channel in the morning. I'd feel great and then I would just be absolutely exhausted the rest of the day. Or we'd go to church on a Sunday morning and I'd be just exhausted and I couldn't function and I just felt like a walking zombie. So I went to the doctor and at that time I was also experiencing night sweats and hot flashes during the day. My cycles were really goofy and I would spot for 4 days and then I'd bleed for 2 and then I'd stop bleeding and then I'd bleed for 3 and then, I'd ovulate quickly after that and then it would just start all over again and it was really quite terrible. So I go to the doctor and I ask her if she would do an iron test because I had been low in ferritin before, specifically when I was pregnant. But when I went to look at my records, I realized actually there was a lot of times that I had been low. Like ferritin, the storehouse of your iron, should be between 20 and 200. And ideally it should be at 100. So mine was at 4 when I was pregnant with my fourth. And then throughout the years, it's been like a 12 and a 16 and a 14. Just not doing well. So I asked for a full panel. I wanted to make sure that everything was right. And the only thing that came back as an issue was my low ferritin levels. It was at a 14 at that point? So 20 is just skimming through normal. 100 is where we want to go. And to build up that storehouse takes a while. So I'd had several miscarriages and for the most part, they would just quickly pass. But the 2 that I had about a year prior were I bled for about 3 months off and on. And it was just the worst. So I think that probably did a lot to deplete my iron. And I have a whole video kind of talking through all the different health stuff. So I will link those below if you want to know more about the health journey and other areas of my life that have improved based on the things I'm about to tell you. Okay, so I go to the doctor, we get the blood draw, and we see all that. Then we think, okay, maybe I have Crohn's because I was having some gut issues and all of that. So we get a calprotectin test, which is a stool test, send it off, and we'll just see how everything goes. So I immediately start on iron supplements, and for me, it was 65 milligrams every other day. Make sure that you take it with some kind of citrus fruit. I was taking it with a full squeezed lemon in water every other day. And then I also started in on vitamins that include things like omega-3s, and they include things like the B vitamins and the D vitamins. And was there calcium involved? There might have been a little bit of iron in those, but not quite enough. So that's why I was supplementing with that pill. And I used a company called Shackley. I've said this before. It's something I used when I was a kid, actually before that day when I woke up and I thought, something is definitely different. I used it throughout high school, and I think it really saved me from a lot of sickness and from a lot of all the cuckoo-ness. And then, you know, when you are grown up and you go and you live on your own and you're doing life, you're not taking your vitamins, you're not taking care of yourself, you're not eating well. And my body just said, that's a no-no, and I'm gonna show you. And I wish I would have known then what I know now, but now I know what I know, and hopefully I can tell you to maybe give you some help and inspiration in how to kind of move forward with your own health journey. So I started in on those. Within just about that first 30 days, all of my night sweats were gone. All of my hot flashes during the day were gone. And then I started to notice that I had a normal cycle, like I wasn't spotting. And I was still having some of those like extreme anxiety, just those up and down feelings, some depression, just my fatigue actually pretty much vanished in those 30 days because I was so low on the iron. So that really helped. But my cycle was getting so much better, and I thought, okay, wow, this is crazy. And then another cycle went through, and it was pretty normal. And I still had some weirdness where I was like, okay, I'm still writing out some of this PMDD, but it has lessened significantly. So it was 60 days. Within the next 30 days, I had added something that I think everybody needs to look into. I think everybody needs to look into iron supplementing if you are low. I think everybody needs to look into B vitamins, and I think everybody needs to look into magnesium and also vitamin D. Those are kind of my big ones. So I started taking magnesium pills. These things are horse pills, you guys. I will link them below. They're easy to swallow, but they're huge. You might be able to find something better, but I specifically take magnesium glycinate, I believe, and it doesn't give me an upset stomach. Well, here's why I took it. I was seeing my sleep get a lot better, and I thought, let's just make it even better. Let's take some magnesium. And I had heard that it can be really helpful for people with anxiety. It can be helpful for PMDD and all this stuff. So I took it at night because it was going to help me sleep. Well, I didn't sleep great. I had a lot of crazy dreams, and it could have just been coincidental. So I woke up though, and I just felt like chill. Yeah, I just felt chill. Now, I had been taking, since I was about 19, off and on different anxiety medications. I was on a low dose of sertraline, and it was very helpful, and it had stopped being helpful during all of this time when my body just went like super crazy psycho. And it took my PMDD to the next level sometime about March of 2024, beginning of this year. Oh man, it was just the worst, you guys. And so July, then August, then September. And so then I wanted to try these magnesium things again. So I thought, oh, I'll try it another night. Maybe I just had a weird one. I didn't sleep well that night either. It was like I was sleeping, but I was awake the whole time. It was odd. So I wasn't getting a deep sleep. And even I have a Fitbit. I don't have it on right now, but it keeps track of my sleep, or a FitSense. And, you know, it was just like, hey, Megan, you're actually not sleeping very well at all. And I said, I know that. I already know that. So I decided I would take the magnesium in the morning. For some reason, I was a little nervous that I was going to be tired when I took it. I don't know what that was about, but I took it in the morning time, and I really just feel like it chills out all of the things. And I just, okay, now I can think. Now I can kind of like think through everything, and it feels as though I'm on the best anxiety medicine, but it's just magnesium. And that's what I'm talking about. That's what I like to see. So I have since had literally no PMDD symptoms. I do not get extreme fatigue before my period. I do not get super bad cramping. Those magnesium pills, I can tell if I miss a day or two right before my cycle, I will start to feel kind of crampy. It's crazy. So along also with that iron, which I think is important. And seriously, I believe this is a Meghan thing. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a researcher. I'm not a whatever, but just from my own like anecdotal and kind of looking into things just for myself as a normal person, I feel deeply in my soul that every single menstruating woman or postmenopausal woman should look into iron supplementing. Literally, if you've just had a baby, think about how much blood you've lost. Think about your body's, like, it's just become right after you've had a baby. And so many women are dealing with postpartum depression, even baby blues. Why? What if now again, I'm a Meghan, not a doctor, not a researcher, not a scientist, all those things. What if we just made sure that women were doing well with their iron levels and their magnesium levels after they had a baby? What about we make sure before they menstruate that they have great iron levels and great magnesium? What about afterward? What about when they're in perimenopause? What about if they're postmenopausal? Like, our bodies need it so badly. And I am shocked, you guys, at how much my life has changed. First, I was told that 2.5 years ago, I was told that I am probably going through perimenopause. All of that gone. All of the perimenopause symptoms gone. All of the PMDD. I do not get PMS, you guys. I feel amazing. And this is 180. If you could go any further than 180 degrees, my life has changed since July of this year. It's shocking and it's incredible. And I feel just overwhelmed when I think about it. And I think how much my life has changed, how much better it is, how much I feel hopeful and I feel excited about the day and I feel full of life and I have energy and I can think clearly and I don't make irrational thoughts and decisions and I don't want to be unalive and I have energy for my family and for my work and for myself. It's amazing. Now, throughout those first 90 days when everything was kind of regulating, I was doing a lot of exercising. I was walking like 45 minutes twice a day. And my dog was just in heaven. And I was doing some running at that time too. And then the third month, toward the end, I started weightlifting. And I think that really helped me push through a lot of those symptoms as well. As the iron was getting in there and the magnesium and all of that was getting in me, I just felt like that made a huge difference to take it to the next level and start adding in exercising. I think it was just really, really brilliant. So another thing that I did during this time that I think is important to note is that I went on an elimination diet for supposed or possible Crohn's disease. It come to find out I am not diagnosed with Crohn's. I did another calprotectin stool test about 6 weeks after the first one. And because of my elimination diet that I had done for 6 weeks, I saw my numbers, like calprotectin numbers, cut in half. So I was like borderline Crohn's at about 75, whatever the numbering is, and the measurements. And then I got down to, I think, 33 or 34. My doctor said because of the way you responded to the elimination diet and how much better you feel as well as the numbers that we see, it would look like it's more like an irritable bowel syndrome type of situation. And that's a whole nother story. I have videos on that too, of how the elimination diet really helped me. And now, for the most part, I stick to it, but I do have things that I've brought back in. Dairy, a little bit of sugar sometimes, although I don't like that. I'd like to be as little in the sugar world as possible, but a little sugar here and there. And I have added back some gluten and don't seem to be having too many problems. I'm starting to eat broccoli again. Hallelujah. I can eat little tiny bits of broccoli, not a lot. And I had a salad the other day and I had no problems. But an elimination diet is going to also help with getting rid of inflammation and just sort of resetting your body. And that's what it did for me. So that combination, I think, has been substantial. If you're not in it to do an elimination diet, I think you could still see some pretty incredible results. I would suggest that you go to your doctor and ask for a full iron panel as well as a full blood panel. What do they call that? CB, you know what I'm saying? And blood count something or another. And just see where you're at with things and see if quite possibly you could be low, and not doing well because of that. Now, my magnesium came back okay. And this is just my own decision. I took the magnesium. I talked to my doctor about it after the fact when I had a follow-up, and I said, hey, I've been taking magnesium and here's what I'm noticing with that. What do you think? And she said, yeah, if you're having great results with it, I would say keep going with it and just keep doing what you're doing. So she was really positive about that. She liked the supplements that I was taking. She thought that was good. She liked that I was going to continue with the iron because I got my iron numbers up from, I think, 14 to 21. So I'm above normal. And I can only imagine, I said this before, that if I feel this good at 21, my numbers for my ferritin, imagine what it would be like if I was at 100. Wow, that would be incredible. So this has been just absolutely life-changing. And I want to shout it from the rooftops, and I would love to be able to help other women kind of get their health back in order. And our cycle has such a huge impact on us. I used to just think my hormones were wildly out of whack. And now I'm going, maybe that wasn't it. When you have a lot of babies and you've had a lot of miscarriages and you're just a human being, you're a woman, your body goes through so many things, and healing it has been just life-altering and life-changing. So I'd love to know in the comments anything that you've done with your own PMDD journey that has helped you to get back into better health. Exercising, taking iron, magnesium, those B vitamins, D vitamins, those are all super important, and the omega-3s. I will list below my vitamins that I take. When you click on it, if you're interested, it's called Shaklee, and it supposedly is like an MLM. I always say this, I am not involved with that in any way, shape, or form. Like, I get nothing from you going and getting these vitamins if you want them. I think it's an investment. And for me, it was an absolute necessity for me to invest in this part of my health journey. So I took the little quiz there. It's called Meology, and you can just answer the questions that it has for you, and it will give you kind of an idea of the supplements that would be good for your body. And then that magnesium and the iron too, I just got from somewhere else. But I think I have a $10 coupon for Shaklee if you want it. Maybe I get $10 if you get $10 off. Whatever it is, there's no multi-level marketing involved. I'm not going to talk to you about it. I'm not going to ask you to join anything because I'm not joined anything. I'm just as a customer, and I found some random person online that sells it, and I was like, done, sold, I'm buying it. Yeah, so what a journey. It's, after I really got through all of my symptoms, some different videos popped up about women that were doing things to help with their PMDD, and they were really just managing it, and they still just felt terrible. And I thought, no, I'm not interested in that. Like, I want to see my body healed. And I think the caveat here is, of course, that I'm me, you're you, our bodies are different, but yet we're still women. And so there is some things that I think could be universally true. Like, if your iron's low, you're going to feel terrible, and it can affect your cycle. And if your magnesium's low, or you could use a boost and you don't have enough, it can affect your cycle and it make you feel terrible. Same thing with the B vitamins. You don't have good levels with your B vitamins. You're feeling fatigue, you're feeling anxiety, you're feeling some depression, you might have some nerve issues. And there's just so much that has changed, and it's just gotten so good. And I would love for you to see so good happening in your life too. I don't want to keep it to myself. I want you to learn it too. And I think it would be incredible I think it would just be incredible to see our bodies healed and working to the best of its ability. We don't have to suffer forever. And I've even had different comments of people saying that, well, you're just a woman, you're just going to have to deal with it. I am not that person. I am not the kind of person that just says, okay, I'll just deal with it. No, I'm the kind of person that says, no, I don't accept that at all. And something has to change. Something is wrong, and we've got to fix it. And I'm just so grateful to have found what it is that has fixed it for me. And so I hope that maybe it'll inspire you to run to your doctor or get some tests done and make some changes that could be really beneficial to you as well. So thanks for hanging out with me, guys. Don't forget to check out my health playlist. You can see all the journeys of where we are today, from me weeping and crying to, yay, things are going so much better. So you can check that out. And I'll put it in the description box, and maybe just right about here, you can see that playlist. So Thanks, guys, for hanging out with me. Hope you're doing well, and you have an amazing day, and I'll talk to you soon. Toodaloo. Bye.